Tonight, Operation Persistence continues in the Far West, with police now searching for wanted man Mervyn. And Aboriginal artists putting their talent on display in Port Augusta, with the winners pocketing thousands at the 13th annual Malka Art Prize evening.
From our 7 Spencer Gulf Studios, your nightly news with Madeline Kerr begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. First tonight, police in Broken Hill are trying to find a wanted man as part of Operation Persistence. Mervyn Sullivan has warrants out for his arrest in relation to assault, as well as property and domestic-related offences. The 40-year-old is known to frequent the Broken Hill area, and anyone with information on Mervyn's whereabouts is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Producers in Western New South Wales are using technology to deal with staff shortages on cattle stations. Gundry Cattle Co, northeast of Broken Hill, has used FarmBot technology to stay profitable during the tough times brought on by the pandemic.
Farmers in Western New South Wales have done it tough for years now, having to deal with drought and then a pandemic. One cattle station has turned to technology to combat staff shortages, while still staying profitable and productive.
It's doing the job of what we would normally have 1 or 2 people doing full time, which is obviously a huge stress relief for us. When it comes to what tasks it helps with on the station, there's really not much that it doesn't help with.
After doing extensive research, Ms. Green and her family turned to FarmBot. Besides being cost-effective and reliable, the technology is user-friendly, with staff aged between 17 and 80 having no trouble adapting.
They have mobile and satellite options, which is a huge advantage to us because not all of our tanks in all of our paddocks are in phone reception. So having the satellite option really allows us to get accurate readings of where our water levels are sitting 24/7 all around the day.
The station manager says she doesn't believe technology will cost people jobs at stations, but rather the advances in technology will be complementary to the existing workload.
Having this technology in place, it really does free up a lot of time and energy and resources to be able to shift our attention to doing improvements on our property. So things like fencing and pipelines, putting in tanks and troughs, stuff that technology can't do.
This could be farming of the future. Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
United We Made It in Port Lincoln is supporting people with a range of different capabilities through arts, crafts and workshops. Participants have made extraordinary artworks, which are now up for sale, and they've done it all with a smile on their face.
The United We Made It team is busy at work, putting together a range of arts and crafts for the community. Participants Winnie and Melissa couldn't be happier working alongside their friends. And you've got some great friends here?
Yes, I do. Best friends all around about work.
The group has been going strong for 2 years now and have up to 13 participants involved.
United We Made It is for a group of people with lots of different capabilities to come along and work in the workshop and create lots of things that we then sell in the shop.
All sales go back into the workshop, buying resources and materials for more projects. The organisation going beyond just arts and crafts.
But we do other things as well, like swim and walk and work around people's NDIS goals, so health and wellbeing and community participation and that kind of thing.
The team hard at work this morning, putting together items ready to be displayed in the shop.
I do a lot of glass pictures.
Are you working on anything at the moment?
Yes, I am. I'm making cards.
More than 40 pieces of art created by participants were entered into this year's Salt Festival exhibition, with over half of them being sold. And they don't plan on slowing down, with a drop-in centre currently in the works.
Took over the 3rd shop in January and we're planning a drop-in centre, like we plan to have coffee and biscuits and maybe soup, and it's still a work in process.
United We Made It are now open on Saturdays and are encouraging locals to come on down and meet the team. Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Last night, the Port Augusta community celebrated the Malka Aboriginal Art Prize with an awards ceremony and auction. The event giving local artists the chance to be seen and to experience what it's like to have their artwork hung in a regional art gallery.
Going, gone. Yesterday, 120 people attended one of Port Augusta's biggest awards nights to celebrate and bid on some of our region's best art.
We are celebrating and having an auction at the Malka Art Awards for 2022.
49 artists from across South Australia were recognised and showcased at the cocktail event held in the city centre. With a $20,000 award going to the winner, the Malka Art Prize is hailed as a springboard for local artists and has helped many achieve national prestige.
This is the best art show that I've been to. It's absolutely amazing what Yada Pertley and Port Augusta Council's done here tonight.
The winning piece, titled Two Women, coming all the way from the APY lands to win the event. Many other artists also considering themselves winners, with 14 additional artworks sold at the auction for hefty price tags.
The artists are gone above and beyond what they usually bring into the exhibition in previous years.
Artists say the event is a unique chance to showcase their culture's stories through art.
So it's about women coming together in the dreaming of our seven sisters and standing up and making a movement.
Many themes of family and country jumping off the canvas and into real life, with whole families being nominated for the same award categories.
This is the first time that my husband, Michael, and all three of our daughters, Nala, Nyan and Indica, are all finalists in a arts award show. So really proud of that moment, considering the kids are 9, 7 and 6.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Still to come tonight, behind the scenes of a productive podcast helping connect farmers. And Port Augusta's park run set to mark a milestone with a very important guest. Welcome back to 7 Spencer Golf News. Far West Health CEO Unit Agus has resigned this week, citing family reasons. Mr Agus has been in the position for almost 2.5 years. In that time, he's had to navigate through a global pandemic, staff shortages, as well as the inquest into the death of Broken Hill teenager Alex Braze. Brad Astle, who is the Executive Director of System Performance Support at the New South Wales Ministry of Health, will be acting CEO until a replacement is found. The masterminds behind the Drought Resilience podcast are talking their way into a more educated listenership. The podcast centres on sheep producers across parts of South Australia who've battled consecutive years of drought and everything in between.
A friendly jingle and a soothing voice covering tough topics.
Welcome to the Drought Resilience podcast.
The Northern York Landscape Board, one of the multiple organisations helping to get the podcast off the ground.
So ultimately, this was a huge opportunity to spread that word, not just for the farmers, but for also anyone involved in the community or the wider community to really understand what the old farmer has to go through and what they battle on a day-to-day basis, especially through drought times.
A lot of different talents were involved during the production phase. Deb Scammell from Talking Livestock, connecting the landscape board to the farmers.
I guess I sold it to them, you guys have got through this and, they do have this sort of deep resilience they found. But, I was like, let's let other people know that aren't from these regions what's been happening out here. And I just think it's good for the industry and even other farmers to listen.
When producing the podcast, Deb knew Annabelle Homer from Voice It was the perfect person to conduct the interviews, as she has the ability to make people feel comfortable talking about difficult topics. Once Annabelle had conducted the interview, she would edit them, make videos to complement them and send them to Landscape SA.
Well, the farmers that we spoke to were just brilliant because they were progressive, they were resilient because it was the Resilience podcast, but they were positive, and even though it didn't matter how bad it got, they always saw a light at the end of the tunnel. So it was the good chats, really good interviews.
Episodes are available on Apple and Spotify. Annabelle Francis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Port Augusta's parkrun community will hit yet another birthday milestone this weekend. Organisers say they are using this weekend's celebration to welcome any new runners looking to join their inclusive running club, where there's no time limit and no one finishes last.
Time flies when you're running fast. The Port Augusta Parkrun Group will celebrate its 4th birthday this weekend, with cake, barbecues and of course a victory lap to get the blood pumping.
So we'll have our usual park run commencing down here at the foreshore, and we have a special guest in Steve Monaghetti.
The Australian long-distance runner and four-time Olympian is in town this weekend for the upcoming Pitchy Ritchie Marathon. But it seems he can't stop himself from jumping into tomorrow's park run as well, for a quick warm-up and to celebrate the organisers' commitment to keep the community running.
I think it's pretty good that we've managed to continue on through COVID. This will be our 4th birthday, so we have good numbers still and lots of visitors recently.
Parkrun is a worldwide community event with many participants travelling to different locations to run other courses. Organisers say it's a great way to keep healthy both physically and mentally.
I think it's just really good for people's health, community-wise. You know, if you haven't got many friends in the community, you can come down and join Parkrun, and it's a nice way to start the morning.
Organisers encouraging those interested in joining Parkrun to come along to the event tomorrow morning.
You can register online, but that's not a necessity. But if you want your time recorded, you can just Google the Parkrun and you can do that online. You get a little barcode.
The birthday celebrations kick off on the Eastside foreshore tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. Millennial migration. The new stats showing young people are flocking to the regions. And the local radio station teaming up with West Coast youth to make sure those experiencing homelessness don't go cold this winter. Welcome back. A new report from the Regional Australia Institute has shown millennials and Gen Xers are driving population growth in our region. The exodus from capital cities has seen Ceduna, Mount Gambier and Port Augusta feature as the top 3 local government areas with the biggest growth rates in the 12 months to March 2022. In Port Augusta, the rate of growth increased by 74% over that period. The Institute says the growth is fueled by strong investment in industries like agriculture, manufacturing, retail and hospitality. The community is rallying together in this year's Share the Air initiative to support those doing it tough this winter. West Coast Youth Community and Support is calling for donations from the public to fill up their bins with blankets and clothing.
Clothes and blankets an expendable item for some, to others a luxury. This year, the team at West Coast Youth, along with Magic 899 Radio, are asking the community to give back to those in need.
We come up with the Share on Air concept, and last year we managed to collect 28 of the bins full of clothing and winter clothing and beanies and blankets.
Share on Air is back and is looking to go above and beyond last year's initiative, working with over 200 people in need.
They sorted a lot of the clothing out and sort of worked it out into male-female sort of things and then distributed to clients that were aware of in need at the time.
This year, people are asked to go the extra mile and donate non-perishable food items.
They also need non-perishable good food and essential household items. So this year we've added in the fact that we're going to try and collect 10 bins of non-perishable goods and household items.
The Bendigo Community Bank also sponsoring the project, with branches across the region serving as drop-off points.
Cummins, Tumby Bay, Port Lincoln branches of Bendigo Bank will all have are all donation points. We're going to have bins there for people to drop off, and based on last year, people were dropping off great stuff.
Donations can also be made at Drake Supermarket and Priceline Pharmacy. Share on Air will run until Friday, July 22nd.
We'd more than welcome people to come into our head office here and donate as much as they can.
There's a real need out there for it. You know, we know how cold it's been.
Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Savoy Soccer Club in Port Pirie is on the top of their game and the ladder this season. The club has a dedicated team of coaches, players and trainers to thank for their success and supportive culture both on and off the field.
Savoy Soccer Club is scoring goals this season. Vinny DeJoy has been senior coach for the past 5 years and says he tries to create a balanced culture.
It's fun but serious enough that we want to win all the time and try and achieve goals that we haven't for a while. So that's seems to be going well at the moment, yeah.
The team has been strong the past few seasons and have just missed out on promotion, but this year everything seems to be working in their favour.
Not many injuries, everyone is playing excellent, putting in, training, game day, and right now we're getting the results, which is great, but still a long way to go in the season yet.
Chairman John Caputo has been involved in the club his whole life and has strong family ties with the club, as his grandparents were one of the founding families. The special connection continues today, as his daughter Brooke is now head trainer of the club and puts her physio skills to good use.
Mostly it's just getting the boys ready for game day, whether that's strapping or, rub downs, things like that. Also take care if they've got any niggly injuries, trying to manage that.
Brooke says the culture Vinny has created is fantastic and is represented in their results on the field.
I've been at the club 7 years now and we've sort of just gone from strength to strength, so really playing well this year, so it's good fun.
It's definitely the best I've seen us, so yeah, we're very excited for the year ahead and hopefully we can finish it off and get promoted.
Savoy Soccer Club welcomes everyone to get involved, whether that involves playing, supporting or volunteering. Savoy take on Elizabeth Vale on Sunday from 1 p.m. Annabelle Francis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us. After the break, we preview this weekend's local footy games heading into the second half of the season, and we'll have the weekend weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back to 7 Spencer Golf News. It's Friday and that means footy tips. Heading into the second half of the season, a lot is on the line, with players from all leagues and all levels eager to keep up the momentum. Let's kick things off with Andrew Schmidt in Broken Hill.
Round 7 of local Broken Hill football this weekend, and what a cracker we've got. Western Central at Jubilee Oval. Central, the hottest team in town at the moment. West are celebrating their 1962 premiership team. Can West win? Nah, Magpies for mine. At the Alma Oval, North and South. South have been the top team for a number of years and have had the wood over the Bulldogs. South will win at the Alma, Central at the Jube.
Round 9 of Wyler football coming up this weekend, meaning we're at the halfway point of the season. First up, Bennett Oval, South Wyler versus North Wyler. North, with a great win last week, are now back in finals contention. They do need to fix up their percentage though, and I think they might do that with a big win against South. Saturday's game at Memorial Oval, Central Wyler versus Rapina. Central sitting on top of the ladder. They won't have it all their own way, but the Roosters should win there. And finally on Sunday at Bennett Oval, it'll be Roona Bay versus West Wyler, second versus third. West do need to get a win against one of the top two, but the Bays are travelling very nicely, having a great month of football, and the Tigers should win.
Welcome to Portlingham Footy Tips. We kick things off at Ravendale Oval where Tasmans are hosting Bostons. Tasmans lost last week. I can't see them losing 2 in a row. They're a great team. Even though Bostons are playing good footy, I'm tipping Tasmans to win this one by 4 goals. In the next game, we got Waybacks hosting Mallee Park at Centenary Oval. Waybacks are in a bit better form than Mallees at the moment, so I'm going to tip Waybacks, but a really close game, I think under 6 points. In the last game, we got Marble Range hosting Lincoln South out at Wongaree. This should be an interesting game. South have found a bit of form, and rumour has it, Marble Range might have a few people out with COVID. I'm going to tip Marble Range to win this one at home, but it'll be a ripper game, 2 goals.
Hello and welcome to round 9 of SGL football. We've just got one match up in Port Augusta this weekend with Central taking on South at Central Oval. Central will be looking to break through for their second win of the season and will fancy their chance in this one. I'm tipping Central. Him taking on South at Port Oval, and we got the Lions taking on Sollies here at Memorial. Port were pretty impressive last week, getting over the top of West, and be looking to test themselves against South. I reckon South will get the points in that one. Here at Memorial, we got the Lions who are flying at the moment, with Sollies coming off a big loss to South last week. I think the Lions will prove too strong and take out this one pretty convincing.
Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather with Alex Sykes. Alex, how's the conditions looking for the Pitchy Ritchie Marathon?
The weather gods will be shining down on all the runners. Maddie, conditions looking clear between Port Augusta and Quorn. Good luck to everyone involved. Taking a look at today's weather map now, partly cloudy in Woodness, 17, 14 in Kadina, Cooper Pedy 10 degrees warmer and 24 degrees. Looking more broadly at the map now, it got to 18 in Port Augusta, 17 was the top in Whyalla and Port Lincoln, Port Pirie reached 16 degrees. Taking a look at the satellite image now, a high pressure system near Western Australia extends across northern South Australia, maintaining a broad westerly flow over the south. A cold front will pass over the south of the state early on Sunday, with the high following quickly to be south of the Bight by Sunday night. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Westerly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas around a metre, and south to south westerly swell 1 to 2 metres, increasing up to 3 metres. Taking a look at the temps now, late shower or two in Port Lincoln tomorrow, set to reach a high of 18 degrees there. Between 9 and 16 in Cleve and Woodner, partly cloudy and 18. 18 on the way as well for Whyalla, down to 7 degrees tonight. Port Augusta 19 on Saturday, and Kadina will be partly cloudy and 16. 17 degrees in Port Pirie, possible showers in Clare, heading for a top of just 16 tomorrow, and Broken Hill will be partly cloudy and reach a max of 17 degrees. Rounding out the weekend now, and Sunday's looking a bit drizzly. Whyalla and Port Augusta won't have any rain though, neither will Broken Hill or Cooper Pedy. Blue skies in Port Augusta on Monday, 16 degrees with some cloud coverage around Whyalla and Port Lincoln. Adelaide and Kadina will start the working week with a top of 15. And finally, a quick look at Tuesday's forecast. The majority of the region will see some sun, temps in the mid to late teens. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. Maddie, it's back to you.
Thanks for that, Alex. Have a great weekend. And that's the local news this Friday. I'm Madeline Kerr. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates a little bit later, but until then, enjoy your evening and your weekend. Good night.